Hello, welcome back to an episode of hopefully helpful eBay tips. I've been listing on eBay for a long time, and one of the things that I do that always saves me time is I group similar items together and I list them all at one time. So if I have groups of photos, I'll list those together. If I have groups of dishes, I'll list those together. One of the ways that I also shortcut the time is I'll set up templates in my business policies. In order to set up a template, you go to the Sellers Hub, you go to the overview, you click on selling, and then you would go to listings, and then you would click on business policies, and actually under list, you'd go to listings. You don't go to business policies. You'd go to listings, you'd go to drafts, and then there's a section there that says sell with template, and you would click on that. You can create a template one time for a group of items, and then you can use it over and over again. For example, with these plates, they all have the same pattern. They're all from the same era. And so I would probably describe everything about the plate in the description for the template, but I would leave off whether it's a cup or a bowl or a platter or a saucer, and I would add those things individually. But I would get everything else that they have in common put into that template. So I would put in, just as an example, Syracuse china, dinerware, vintage. A lot of people don't like to put the vintage in there. I always do out of habit. And I would put the nutmeg pattern, because that's the name of this tan pattern, is nutmeg. So I would put the pattern, I would put the china manufacturer, and I would put the era. This is 50s dinerware. So I would have all of that in the description. And then I would put in all the item specifics that they have in common in the template, and whatever they don't have in common, I would leave blank. Because right now we're just setting up a template that's going to speed up the time that it takes to list everything else. So I would start one listing with the template, but I would not publish it yet. Once I get that in draft form, I would save it as a draft, and then I would go into the draft section and I would make a duplicate draft for however many items that are different. So I could have one for platters, one for cups and saucers, one for salad plates, and so forth. So I would count up how many different types of items there are, and I would make that many duplicates. And then when I go through the duplicates, I would enter whether it's a cup, whether it's a bowl, whether it's a plate, those sort of things. And because I have multiples of these, I can choose to either sell a lot. Like for example, I have 4 of the platters. I can sell all 4 as one lot, or I can make the one listing for each individual item, and I can put a quantity of 4 in there. The quantity of 4 would mean that each time they buy, they get 1, but they can do it up to 4 times. So you kind of get the idea. So after I get the listing completed, but not published yet, I would do all the photographs afterwards. I get all the descriptions and all the details on my listing first, and I do that on my desktop. It's the easiest place to do it. And there are some things on the desktop that are not available on the mobile device, so I don't like to do the entire listing on the mobile device for that reason. However, there is one aspect of the mobile device that I do like to do, and that's the photographs. So I use my phone, and I would go into the draft section on the eBay mobile app, and I would pull up the draft for the platters or the cups or the plates or whatever it is that I'm going to photograph. And then I would hit the plus sign on photos, and I would take up to 12 photos on a clean white background. Right now I'm in my dining room. I've got a white dining table. It's a big space. It's a good place for me to photograph. If you have a large area that you can put a white sheet over, or what I used to do when I first started out was I used to use foam board. You can get it at the dollar store. And a lot of times they have like a poster board that has edges that fold up, like a trifold. And those are really nice because you can stand those up and your sides will be white and your back will be white. The reason you want a white background and not a staged background for eBay, one, eBay prefers it, and that's what they request that you do. So your listings will be boosted if they are in compliance with what eBay wants. The reason eBay wants that, though, is because they rank higher on the Google images. So if somebody is searching for Syracuse china platters and they're not on eBay, but they're on Google, and they're typing it in, Google is going to put the images with the clean white backgrounds at the top of the listings. So the staged listings may look prettier, but they won't rank as high in searches. And I'm not looking to win any awards for prettiness. I want to sell my items. So I'm going to be in compliance with what eBay wants and what Google wants, because if somebody is a collector, they're going to either go to Etsy, eBay, or Google. And they're probably going to go to Google first, because that will be where all the items will be. And so while Etsy and Poshmark want you to stage things, eBay doesn't. And eBay tends to have a little bit of an older demographic on their collectible shoppers, and I do a lot of collectibles, so that's why I'm talking about that now. So you have to know you have to know where your customer is going to shop. If you have great success on Etsy, keep staging your items. If you're selling on Poshmark, they absolutely need to be staged. That's what Poshmark wants. Whatever platform you choose, you need to know what they're looking for, and you need to give it to them. Because if you do, then they will boost your listings in the search results. I want to post high on Google as well as eBay, because that's where I sell my stuff. I sell it on eBay, but a lot of my customers look on Google first. And so having understood why they're asking that of you, I have no problem complying with that. If you prefer to stage your stuff and this is a hobby, you'd be probably happier at Etsy. But eBay wants you to have a plain white background. They even have a tool in the mobile app where you can remove a background. I have had terrible luck with that. Every time I take a picture of something and I try to use the background remover, it ends up removing a portion of the item, or it takes me longer to fiddle with where the things should be removed than to just take a picture on a white background. So that's what I do. The next thing that you want to do is, after you take the photos, is go back to your desktop and make sure everything's right. Take one last look, because there are so many item specifics now with eBay. The more you fill in while you're doing the listing, the better, because they're going to hound you forever about adding the item specifics. I did mention on a previous video that if the item specifics don't apply, don't add them. eBay's not expecting you to describe things that don't exist for your item, but the things that do exist, you want to fill those in. So if they ask whether this is ceramic or metal, with the era, those are things that people are going to be searching for, so you definitely want to put those item specifics in. The other thing that you want to double check is, if you have an inventory system, make sure that you have your inventory number on there in it's under the custom label field. That's where you can put your SKU numbers or your bin numbers. And you want to just take a look at it, make sure that the pictures look good, make sure that you've put in measurements on anything that people may want to measurement. For example, these plates, I'm going to be taking a picture with a ruler in there. And so a lot of times people won't read the descriptions. And so if you have important measurements, taking a picture with a tape measure or a ruler is always helpful, because people are more likely to look at the photos than they are to look at the descriptions. eBay has made it harder and harder to find the information that's located within the description. So the more of it that you can put on that first place they're going to see, the photos are an excellent place to put those, because people will look at the photos. If there are any condition issues with your items, make sure you put those in there. If there's a chip, if there's a stain, if there's a flaw, people will still buy your item if they know that it's there. If you don't tell them about that and hope that they don't notice, 100% of the time they're going to notice, and they're going to give you bad feedback, and they're going to probably want a refund or to return the item. But if you tell people that there's a minor chip or a flaw or a bubble or a stain, a lot of times they'll still buy it. You just, you have to price it accordingly. So you've got your items lit, you've got all your description in there, you've got your measurements in there, you've put as many of the item specifics as are applicable in there. You want to be uniform with your descriptions, and you've got your good pictures with a clean white background. You've double checked everything. It's time to publish it. As far as pricing goes, you do want to make sure that your pricing is reasonable. The best way to do that is to, before you set your pricing, look at the sold listings. The way that you do that is you type in the description of the item, and then you do additional filters. On the additional filters, you can click sold items. Look at the sold items. And then when you're looking at the sold items and you see the prices that they sold, look at how long ago it was. If the sold item was 3 years ago, that pricing is a very, very loose guide. Prices change, things come in and out of favor. If the item sold 2 weeks ago, that price is pretty valid. So, get an idea for that. A lot of times I'll take the sold items price, and because I offer best offer on all of my items, I'll increase it from there because I want to sell it for the item that it sold for before, which means if I'm going to take an offer, if I put best offer on there, they're going to always offer me 20, 30, 40, 50% off. So I have to adjust my price so that when I accept their offer is where I want it to be. So because I have a lot of reviews, the majority of them are positive. I have the occasional neutral review, but I think I have over 1,100 reviews now, and I'm 99% positive. People look at the reviews. The more reviews you have, the more you can charge for your items. If you only have 5 reviews, you need to keep your prices low because you don't have the trust factor yet. But if you have the reviews and you are going to take offers on your items, you have to bump the prices up because otherwise, if this platter is going for, the last one sold for $25 and I'm going to put or best offer, I've got to put $49 on there so that they offer me $25 or $35 or something. What I do with the offers, because there's nothing worse than having something that's valuable and unique and really cool and you actually love it or you wouldn't have bought it in the first place, and somebody offers you 5 cents for it or something stupid like that. It's very easy to let that be insulting to you. They're looking for a great deal, and I get that. What some people will say is never put a lower limit on your offer because you don't want to lose a deal by 1 penny. But I know for me and my own peace of mind, I do put a lower limit on there because if somebody wants to offer me less than half of what the item's worth, then I'm going to wait for somebody who sees some value in it. The items that I buy are curated, they're cool, they're worth it, and I know it, and I have a history of selling them, so I know that I don't have a bunch of junk. And so I list the prices accordingly. But for me, what I do is there's 2 different limits you can put on your best offers. And you can't do this on the mobile device. So this is another reason you want to do your final massaging of the listings on your desktop. On the desktop device, when you're looking at your price and you're looking at where the best offers are, you can put in the automatic amount. Like if they offer on this plate, if I've got it listed at $49, I can set it to accept all offers of $25 or more, or whatever it is that I'm willing to take. If it's $20 or $15, whatever I'm okay with selling this plate for, I'll put that as my automatic approval. And then my automatic decline is 1 penny less. And that cuts out a lot of the frustration and the aggravation of somebody offering me $4 for a $50 plate or something like that. So if you have items like that you just want to move, then that may not work for you. But if you have items that are valuable and they're cool and you're willing to wait, because my items don't sell, I don't have 50% turnover of my inventory every month. I sell my items slowly. I have to wait for the right buyer. That approach may not work for you. So you have to know what type of customer you have, how often you're going to sell things. If you're selling hot sneakers, this approach isn't going to work for you. You're going to have a completely different game plan. But for the collectible market and for what I sell, this works for me. So if you're selling collectibles or jewelry or whatever it is on eBay, I hope these tips have helped you. And if you would like more tips like this, I'm doing a lot of decluttering in my home right now. I want to transition out of the glassware and the dishes and the artwork that I have in my store, and I want to consolidate my inventory down to smaller, lighter items that can fit in smaller areas. It's taking up my whole master bedroom right now, and I'm sleeping in the guest bedroom. I would like all of my eBay inventory to fit in my guest bedroom and ultimately into a van, because someday I want to do this from the road and I want to work out of a van. So I am slowly selling off my big breakable items, and I'm transitioning to postcards and photos and jewelry and things that I can get a lot in a small tub. But it's a process and it's going to take some time. So If you want to see more decluttering, this is coming out of my kitchen. I am, and before I buy a van, I've got to clean out this whole condo. So there's a lot of things like that I'm going to be selling over the next few months. And I would love to take you with me on this adventure. So if these tips help you, or if there's other things that you would like help with, please let me know in the comments. If you have tips that make it go faster for you to list, or if you have tips on the biggest complaint that I've been getting lately. Betty's having a nightmare. Betty, you're okay. Betty's a rescue dog and she has nightmares. But if you have tips on how to overcome the problems with the shipping lately. Shipping has gotten very expensive, and these big breakable items, whether I pay for it or the customers pay for it, the shipping's been crazy lately. I sold some artwork over the last couple of weeks, and it was valuable artwork, but the shipping on it, $50, $60, $70, it's kind of ridiculous. If there's a hack that you have learned that is helping you with the cost of shipping, please let me know. I know that UPS recently supposedly lowered their rates, but it's still crazy. I think with a lot of the artwork that I have, I'm probably going to end up doing Facebook Marketplace and local pickup, because it's just not moving on eBay. I think the shipping charges are just so much of a deterrent to customers that I'm going to end up doing the Facebook Marketplace. I recently sold a bicycle on Facebook Marketplace, and if you have bicycles to sell, now is the time. I had picked up this bicycle at a garage sale about 2 years ago for $15, and I sold it for $50, and I sold it the same day, and I probably had 30 people that wanted it. So if you have bicycles, that's your bonus tip for today. Sell your bicycles if you're not using them and if they're just collecting dust, because right now people are buying. So have a great day. I hope this helps somebody, and if you want more tips like this, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching this. Bye.